Hi, welcome back to True Wellness. Thanks for joining us. Today we're going to be talking about root canals. There's a lot of information out there, there's a lot of confusion, and we want to dispel some of the misinformation that we often hear clients dealing with. So what do you know about root canals? Educate me.
So there's a couple big things that we need to know about root canals in relationship to looking at the body in regards to biological medicine that's really been set forth by Dr. Rao. So all this information that I have in regards to root canals, I really lay on him. Okay, and the fact that anybody going to the clinic, they deal with their dental situation first before you do anything else. Before you see another doctor, they really look at the dental situation of people, because in biological medicine it's really understood that our teeth are connected to the meridians and the organs of our body, and they relate to all kinds of systems and are very much connected to our nervous system. So why root canals are bad are really twofold. Okay, two primary things, maybe three things that are really bad with root canals. One is that a root canal is a dead tooth. And the reason it's considered to be a dead tooth is because the root that connects it to the nervous system has been removed. It's been drilled out. And once I drill the root out of a tooth, then that tooth is connected really with tissue and maybe my jaw a little bit, but it doesn't have a connection to my autonomic nervous system anymore. And when that happens, the body perceives that as dead material. And when the body perceives anything as dead material, it tries to reject it. And that can be hard for some people to understand, but an easy way to understand it is that if anyone's ever gone through any kind of parasite cleanse or have their pets go through a parasite cleanse, whenever an animal or a human expels worms, the worms are always dead. And the reason that happens is not because of the medication we might take to kill the worm. It happens because once that worm is dead inside us, the body's reaction is to reject it and get it out of us. Okay? So the nervous system is looking at a root canal tooth as a dead tooth. And so the nervous system and the immune system is now kind of focused on that and trying to literally get rid of it. If you ask a dentist who does root canals, what's the final thing that happens to my tooth? If you do a root canal for me, what eventually happens? They'll tell you eventually it'll fall out on its own, or we'll have to extract it at some point because the body is not going to hold on to it. Okay? So that issue alone is important because the body's working at trying to get rid of it, and it causes the immune system to look at something that it doesn't necessarily need to look at. The second is that when a root canal is done, they fill that root canal with a material to try and fill the tubulars. And there's a lot of miles worth of tubulars in every tooth. And it's a very difficult thing to do. So oftentimes what happens is that even though that substance is put down into the root canal tooth, there's still areas where there's bacteria growth. And once bacteria gets in there, and most root canals are capped, once the bacteria is in there, it starts to create a reservoir of bacterial infection. Oftentimes a root canal will end up being abscessed, and the tooth will have to be extracted. So it creates this ongoing problem, actually, for folks with root canals. The other issue is that if I'm sick, if I'm actually dealing with an illness, what they have found is that a root canal will actually be like a reservoir for the microbes of my illness. So for instance, if I'm dealing with a cancer, it's not that the root canal caused the cancer, it's that the root canal is actually a place where those microbes can kind of hide in our body and reinfect us later. And that's one of the big things with Dr. Rao in regards to dealing with cancers. He wants to make sure that the person doesn't have any root canals. Because just because the tumor in the breast is taken out, okay, it doesn't mean that the person is actually healed, because those microbes can now be hiding in root canal teeth. So there's a lot of stressors that the body can be under in regards to root canals. Okay, I needed a root canal about 8 years ago because I'd fallen and cracked my tooth. I had a physical problem and I cracked the tooth. The root was exposed and I was having a lot of pain. I decided not to get the root canal, even though they said, well, let's try and save that tooth. And I said to the dentist, well, you're saving a tooth, but it's actually dead, right? I mean, it's not connected if you root canal. And he kind of said, well, yeah, you're right. I said, well, let's take it out, and that saves me from taking it out 10 years from now. And he agreed, and we took the tooth out. So what's the cure for root canals? The true cure for root canals is A, not getting them, and B, if you have them, to seriously think about having them extracted, especially if you're dealing with an illness. Okay, so there's some flexibility with us in regards to root canals because people are hesitant to have that done, and nobody likes to lose teeth. Okay, but the concept is that that tooth is already lost. The body's trying to reject it. It's a stressor on your immune system. And if I have 5 root canals, I have a lot of what's called distal foci, and that's the idea that the body is looking at these things as infections, even though I might not have a symptom, and it's taking up my immune system's ability to look at things that it really should look at.
So someone that has a root canal or is needing to get a root canal, and it's going to be something that's visible. Like it has to. What do you do with that?
Well, hopefully, if the root canal is between 2 other teeth, then you can have appliances made that just kind of clip in, and it'll create the space for us. It'll look like a tooth. It looks very natural. I actually have one. That's something that can be done. We're not crazy about implants because implants actually cause a big issue. Typically for the nerves in the jaw and the face, and can cause a lot of problems for people. They haven't really perfected that yet. Implants are another issue that eventually you can actually wiggle them and pull them out pretty easily because they don't really adhere to the body very well. And they're still trying to work that out. So it's a tough call. I like the idea, quite honestly, of either snap-on smiles or bridges to handle that.
Okay. All right. Great. Thanks so much for joining us. We hope we answered some of your questions, and we look forward to seeing you back.